Year 2007, in Estonia. Anna is at her first day working in Sarn Institute. It's a place for the mentally unwell. She is welcomed by the doctor and gave her the security protocols of the place. When a nurse came up to him and told him about a missing patient, Lena. They then locked down the place. The doctor told her who is Lena. She's the most dangerous patient and the reason why she's hired. Her predecessor underestimated her. The doctor then instructed her to never leave the room and left to find Lena. But inside the room, there is Lena. She drew her. Anna introduced herself to Lena. She's confused as she looked like a kid. The staff finally found her. She raised her hands with a pencil clutched in her hand. She dropped her pencil and peacefully surrendered with the staff. The doctor explained that Lena has gland disorder that causes her proportional dwarfism and that she's 31-year-old grown woman. When she first came to the institute, she struggled so hard with her restraints that she would bleed severely, scarring her wrist and neck and wears dentures. The doctor told her more about Lena's history and that 2 years ago, Lena tricked a family to adopt her. And murdered all of them. Anna became Lena's main therapist. At their art session, Lena called the other patient's name. The patient breaks her paintbrush and attacks the staff watching them scaring Anna. Lena then gave her a candy. Lena is on her bed, watching a black and white film about a young girl telling her love to an older man.
I know you by heart. You're inside my heart.
When the guard who has an infatuation with Lena gave her a box. She opened the box and it's a dress with accessories in it. She let the guy tie her wrist with a bracelet and manipulated him more by opening her room. The man then went inside and simped so bad. Lena touched him in his chest and took his card key. He thought she's gonna kiss him, but instead, smashes his head on the wall repeatedly. Anna is on the parking lot on her way home. Lena managed to sneak out of the hospital when the guard sees her at the front door. Thankfully, her friend is there. She shouted her name and attacks the guard. She went to the security room and turned off the cameras. On her way out, she gave her friend a candy. Anna is inside her car when she saw Lena. Lena went inside her car while Anna runs away back inside. Anna then resigned and went back home. She get out of her car and when she's opening the door, her car's trunk suddenly opens. She closed it down and when she went inside her house, Lena kills her. Lena played piano, drank some wine and searched the internet for a missing child. She took the identity of a kid named Esther. She also took Anna's clothes and covered her scars. On her way out of the house, Lena saw Anna, still alive. And did what she had to do. Lena then went in a park. A police saw her and asked where are her parents. Lena told him that her name is Esther and her parents are from America, in Darien, Connecticut. A detective talked to a family that lost their daughter, named Esther. The family has an unusual dynamic. Gunnar, their son, can basically do what he likes, with his parents, especially his mother, Tricia, just letting him. Alan, the father, became a different man and depressed after losing Esther. The detective told them that their missing child is finally found. The mother went to where Lena is. An immigration officer warned her of changes as it has been 4 years. Lena made a story that someone abducted her and brought her to Russia. She hugged Tricia and went on their way back to Connecticut. Tricia showed her a picture of Alan and asked if she remembers him. Lena said yes and thought he's handsome. Tricia showed Gunnar and her mom, Esther's supposed grandmother. Lena told her that she can't wait to see her, but Tricia told her that she's already dead. Lena excused herself and went to the bathroom. She trashed around as she is frustrated after making a mistake. In the airport, Lena asked her if Alan will recognize her. Tricia answered her that he will not if she keep calling her father instead of dad. Tricia removed her hat and touched her choker, but Esther stopped her. Lena hugged Alan upon seeing him. Gunnar looked shocked and seems off. They showed her room and Lena told them that she likes painting. Tricia told her that they will go to a therapist that has a pet parrot the next day. At the therapist, Lena told her that she's not yet ready to tell her time in Russia and instead played with the parrot. Lena went to the other room and knocked down the receptionist's drink. Esther then clicked the button to listen to the therapist and Tricia's conversation. A kid then followed her. The therapist told her that she has inconsistencies and it's like she's giving a performance. Lena screamed, a ploy for them to stop talking. She put the blame to the boy and told Tricia that she wants to go home. They are on their way home when Lena saw the detective, took a picture of her. At home, Gunnar's friends came and made fun of her. She answered them in Slavic. He then went off with them. Alan then asked Lena if she wants to go to his studio. Alan showed her his UV paintings. Lena also saw the posters of Esther. Lena drew Alan and saw Tricia watching them. They're having their dinner when Alan told them that Lena drew him and that she's got more talent than him when he was in his 20s. Gunnar said that 4 years ago she only draw stick figures. Tricia shut him down and told him where he were 4 years ago and now, a fencing champion. The detective visits them to check on Esther. She excuses herself to fill up her glass, but instead listens to the detective telling them that the therapist, including him, are open for a group discussion. But Lena reminded Trisha that her gala is for the next day. The detective noticed that she forgot to fill up her glass. That night, Lena stole from them and is ready to leave. She saw her ad and said goodbye to it. Lena looked back at the house and saw Alan. She likes Alan and went back inside for him, telling the rat that she'll stay for a while. On Trisha's morning run, she stopped and looked at Esther photos before. Before the gala, Trisha told Alan that he changed for the better. They were making out when Lena saw them and cut Trisha's dress for the gala. Trisha wore a different dress and went on their way. Gunnar had his friends come over while Lena is inside the house. They were talking about her and Lena was all about it. She told Gunnar to go fuck himself. The doorbell rang, it's the detective. The detective went inside and told him that it smells like weed. The detective asked if he can go to the restroom and went inside Lena's room to investigate. He took the record with Lena's fingerprint. The detective then left and Lena noticed her missing record. The couple is on their way home and at their house, Esther is nowhere to be found. Trisha saw Lena's book and saw photos of men, the detective, and name of the institute where she came from. At the detective's house, he processed the record and took the fingerprint. It did not match from the original Esther. He noticed a dog barking. He brought out his gun and realized it's not Esther when Lena prison shanked him. She stabbed him multiple times and kicked his gun away from him. The detective told her that Trisha knew that she's not Esther and was shot. It's Trisha. Lena told her everything. Trisha then told Lena that Gunnar accidentally killed the original Esther and Trisha covers and cleans up after him. Both of them hid the detective's body to the hole where they also hid the original Esther's body. Trisha then told her that they have to show and act as Alan changed and became better after she arrived. They had an agreement, it's either that or go back to Estonia. Trisha also told Gunnar everything. The next morning, while Gunnar and Alan is playing with crossbow, Trisha gave Lena a preparation talk before they go to the therapist for her to not mess up again. They passed the test and the therapist thought she's fine. There will be visitors for Esther and Trisha gave her dress for them to not look sus. They then put on an act. Gunnar doesn't feel right and told Lena that she doesn't belong with them. But Lena is not intimidated and slapped him twice. Trisha put a sleeping pill on Esther's food and told them that the two of them have plans together and Lena can't go with Alan to the city. Lena excused herself, went to her room and gave her food to the rat. Alan visits Lena and asks her if she wants to go to the studio to paint with him. Lena agreed and they both painted with UV lights in his studio. Trisha was watching them. Alan went on the bed and Lena stayed. Lena draw Alan more with UV paint when Trisha went inside the studio. Trisha then realized that Lena likes Alan. She made fun of her and Lena felt sad. He was moving in her bed, can't sleep. When she saw the rat that ate her dinner is dead. The next morning, Lena cooked breakfast for the family. She also made Trisha's morning drink. She sips it once and throws it in the sink. The dead rat is inside her drink making her gag. At the train station, Alan is on his way to the city. She told Lena that he will give her works to his friend, a dean in an art school. Lena went back to Trisha and tried to push her off the platform but was stopped by a random guy. They then said goodbye to Alan. Trisha told her that their arrangement is over. Lena tried to run away and took her bag. She pepper sprayed Gunnar and ran off with their car. While driving, she smoked some cigarette and wore sunglasses. A highway patrol officer noticed her and knew who she was. The officer brought her back to them. Trisha told her that their agreement is over. Gunnar grabbed her and Trisha will slit her wrist. Lena spit on Trisha's face and knee Gunnar's balls and ran. Gunnar had her again and accidentally threw her off the stairs. Trisha called Alan. When Gunnar noticed that Lena is missing, she instructed Gunnar to go downstairs, find her and kill her. Gunnar took his fencing sword and looked for her. He found Lena at Alan's studio. Lena shot him with a crossbow. She then stabbed him multiple times, killing him. Trisha saw them and Lena ran away. They had a scuffle and accidentally turned on the stove. Lena ran upstairs and Trisha took the knife to finish her. The house burned from the stove. Lena jumped from the window and climbed the roof of the house. Trisha followed. She tried to stab her and misses. Alan arrived in their burning home. The two women hang on the roof and Alan had to choose who to save first. Trisha tried telling Alan that Esther is a grown woman but she can't hold on any longer. Alan saved Lena and smushes her face, accidentally removing her dentures. Alan freaked out and called her a monster. Lena pushed Alan and died instantly. Lena went back inside to take her book and left the burning house. She was then moved to a reputable adoption agency with a therapist and the police officer not knowing that she is a grown woman. And that's the recap for today. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Thank you.